Hi, I'm Momma Denium. I am not on Drag Race and I was not just eliminated, but here's how we're gonna do my face. Today we're gonna do what I like to call my basically basic face. Is it perfection? No. Is it fun? Hopefully. Throughout the video I'll try and remember to tell you what products I'm using, but I will have a full list of products in the description below. Alright, so we're gonna start with my eyebrows. I melt through glue, so I use spirit gum. I haven't tried Prozaid yet, but this is the step you would try before it if you can't do glue. So it's a little runny, so make sure you apply it thin. You want to brush against the grain of your eyebrows. And now we have to wait a minute for it to get tacky before we can comb it and push the hairs back. So also while you're waiting for this to dry, you don't always know where your wig is going to sit on compared to your sideburns, so we're going to glue down my sideburns too. For that, I'm going to use glue. So I'm going to glue down my actual sideburns and about an inch or two of my hairline, and then your wig should be good to go. Now I'm going to set my sideburns with some super white powder. Now I'm going to check my eyebrows to see if the spirit gum is tacky enough. I have this comb. And it's getting there. Not quite. These should be able to stick straight out. Oh, well, there they go, kind of. Okay, well, we're going to sit here for another minute. Okay, I think they're dry enough. We're going to go spread these out now. Be mean. If it doesn't hurt, you're not doing it. Like every time I do somebody's makeup and I block their eyebrows, they think I'm like really vicious with the comb. Alright, I should look nice and shocked now. And we're going to set these two with the same powder. You want to make sure to do this before it dries completely. It should still be fairly tacky. And really beat it in there. So I use 2 to 3 layers on my eyebrows. Normally when I'm using spirit gum, the second layer of spirit gum can be tricky. It can kind of unset it sometimes and it becomes kind of a mess. It does work, but it takes a little practice and finesse. So for the rest of these layers we're going to use glue on top because I'm not going anywhere and I'm not afraid I'm going to melt through it. But this first layer will keep me nice and dry and secure. And we're going to do another layer on my sideburns. And when you're going back over with your glue stick, your hairs are going up, you want to go across with your glue stick to fill in the gaps and make it smoother. So while we wait for that to dry, we're going to apply our beard coverage. We're going to use an orange eyeshadow, and you're going to apply this in your beard area, or at least in your trouble areas. And this will help neutralize the cool tones so they don't pop through your foundation. Now we got our orange on, we are going to set it with neutral powder so it doesn't mix with our foundation. I'm going to do one more layer on my eyebrows for good measure. And then we're going to dust away the excess. Alright, so the next step for me before foundation is primer. I'm using Smashbox Photo Finish. Miss Fame used it once. I like it. Just spackle those little forehead wrinkles. Alright, I got lots of primer on. We're going to go to foundation. I'm using Kryolan 3W. This is your basic white girl color. If you're new to buying foundations and you would consider yourself an average white person that's not tan, I would probably start with this. You can give yourself general coverage and then we're going to blend it all out with a beauty blender. Alright, and then when you get to your neck, this part we will drag, so you don't have to put foundation down your entire neck, but this is how you make it blend. Just drag it like so, and then you can fade the color into your natural skin tone. And then your head won't look disconnected. Alright, I've got my base color. Now I use a whole bunch of different contouring creams. One thing to keep in mind when you do your contour is your creams are going to get a lot lighter once you put all your setting powders on it. So go darker in the cream first, and then accent it with the other colors afterwards. So when I started drag, I was recommended my 3W, Basic White Girl, and then the contour I was recommended was a 7W. Now, I've kind of grown out of the 7W, it's not dark enough for me. So I have, also by Kryolan, a 12W, and then I also have this one by Mehron, it's called Dark Egyptian. And I use both of these. So the darker areas you will use less of, so I'm going to start with the 12W. I'm going to do my normal contour area, blend it, and then add in some darker edges in certain places with the Dark Egyptian, and it'll really make it pop. So go ahead and go around your forehead. Some queens, they take their highlight like straight back and it just goes on for like infinity. What I like to do is I make like little round bubbles I take from my forehead and I go in towards my eye socket. Gives you that kind of, I don't know, skeleton look, but whatever. I like it. And then same thing with my contour. Instead of going, or my cheek contour. Instead of going straight back, I make a rounded edge around here. And I think it gives more dimension and it looks better from multiple angles. And if you're wondering where you should put your contour on your cheek, you generally want to go from like your ear and you can feel under your cheekbone and go straight to the edge of your lips and just blend it until it's, you know, blended. Alright, so I'm going to go right under my jaw, and I don't actually connect it on my chin. I think it cuts off my face. So what I do is I end around here. And actually you can go a little above your jawline too. If you like look straight ahead, if you look straight ahead and just draw on top and then just kind of fade away, I think that gives the right dimension. You don't have to make 10 billion shadows under your chin. And then see, when you look at yourself straight on, okay, I can't really see where I'm looking correctly, but if you look at yourself straight on and then you don't like the shape of your jawline, you can draw on top above your jaw and just kind of cut away until it's the right shape. Then we go back to our beauty blender. Make sure you use a separate one for your contour. And we're going to blend. Now, it doesn't always work for me with the beauty blender, so I actually do a lot of finger blending. So the transitional places, I prefer to just pat it with my fingers. Also, do not drag, just go and it'll turn out nice. Now I'm going to go back in with the Dark Egyptian. This is mostly for the forehead area. Use a little bit in your cheeks and a little tiny bit on your jaw. Alright, I think my contour is good. Now I'm going to add my highlight. I have a Mehron white. I'm going to dab some in the center of my forehead. And make sure this gets into your natural brow area as well. Or at least for how I do my eyebrows. I like it there. Now I'm going to dab some on the highest points of my cheekbones, and I'm going to blend this back in a round kind of like oval shape here. I'm going to leave the highlight off my nose because I don't really feel like bringing a lot of attention to my nose. And I personally never highlight my chin. It's just because of the shape of it, and I feel like it brings more attention to that too. So those I let kind of go neutral and fade out. Alright, so before we set our foundation, I'm going to do my eyebrows. I think they're going to be fairly neutral today. I can still add color on top of them after they're set, no big deal. But the point of doing your eyebrows now is that you can do it in cream, and if you mess up, you can, you know, go back over it, and it's a lot cleaner than trying to fix it when you do it with powders. So I'm going to start these with my 7W foundation. I have a small angle brush. Now you want to make 2 points in your eyebrows. I start mine around the area where my actual eyebrows start. And when you do these, you want to go stand far away from the mirror, because when they're up close, they look more symmetrical for some reason. You stand away and you go, oh, okay, I screwed that up. So make your 2 points. Now we got the general shape, we can start thickening. Alright, now I need to go in with darker colors because all my tails are blending in. Now we're going to blend that a little bit and blend your tail so it kind of fades away to nothing. Your eyebrows will look a lot better if you can't really tell where they begin. Just get a general thing going right there. I'm really digging my brows today. Alright, now we are ready to powder. So I only use neutral powder on my highlight area. Do that first and then go over with the the skin, whatever your skin tone powder is. I don't use neutral set on my entire face. I think it makes you look ashy, and this looks a lot better on flash and on camera and all that jazz. Alright, and then pretty much immediately after I set my powder like that, I brush off the excess. My face gets really cakey if I leave it on too long. I can't really bake my face like other queens. Okie doke. So I use a number of eyeshadows on my contour. What I like to do to my face is I use a lot of warmer colors. I use more beigey, orangey, red based browns, or just, you know, warm colors in general. And I think it adds a lot of the dimensions to the face. So you want to start with your lightest color first and then do the broadest areas with that. And then you'll go in, you know, tighter and tighter and tighter as you get to the darker colors. So I have this Kryolan, it's Cayenne pepper. This is, for me, this is a must for a general warming on your face. So just go in all your contour areas. And this will help alleviate a lot of ashiness as well. Oh yeah, let me talk to you about my brushes for a sec. Forgot about that. So, I have no brush game. And Raven did it once, so I do it too. I went to Michael's. I get all of my brushes at Michael's now because it's cheap and effective, and you could, you know. And when I say once, it was that episode of Transformation where Raven forgot her brushes and she used brushes from Michael's. So, there. You can probably see already, hopefully, all the little peachiness that's getting added to my forehead. Looks beautiful. Alright, I think we got enough peaches for now. Now we're going to go to our next darker color. I have this nice little palette I made from Inglot. These are super cheap. They're only like $7 per eyeshadow. You can make your own palettes. These unfortunately don't have names, they just have numbers. I have no idea what number this is, but we're going to be using this color I lovingly call Tacobell Diarrhea. And we're going to do the same thing going around the contours, and we're going to take it in a little further. It's not going to go out as far. You can go in towards your eye here and give yourself that nice sunken eye look. You can help, and it'll help round out around your highlight area too. So you have nice, beautiful, round cheekbones. And I'll do some of this in my little socket area too, and drag a little bit into my nose. Alright, and then one more. I have another Kryolan color, RB29. So I think the contour looks good. Side, good, and I can take my neck back. And I don't have some ridiculous contoured bar right here. It all blends. Look good from all the angles. Alright, I really like this darker Kryolan color. I'm going to try and get this in my eyebrows. There we go. Brows are good. Alright, time for eyes. So, a lot of queens do their eye makeup before they do the lower half of their face. That's one way to do it. I do it all at the end because I'm really indecisive and I get very blendy and wispy and whatever. I don't do a lot of crazy hard lines with my eyeshadows. I also never really learned how to do a cut crease because I have a really deep man brow. You can't see a cut crease, and then if I take it out, you know, up onto the bones to see it, then it looks like crazy from the side. So this is how I do my eyes. A good method if you have a deep man brow like me. So we're gonna do some green today, but this goes along the lines of my basically basic. I do some variation of, you know, an eye shape like this most of the time. So I have some Urban Decay primer. If you have a colored pencil, like I have NYX pencils, I just hate sharpening them. If you have a colored, you know, eyeshadow pencil, those work better as a base than regular flesh tone primer will, especially for light colors, but we're just gonna do this today. So I'm just gonna start with my eyelid, and then I'll blend it up in here a little bit. And I'm using Acid Berry from Sugarpill. So this is like my base, like middle ground color for my green eye look. So we're gonna do my eyelid, and then we're gonna go like make like a trapezoid shape, so it's like a stretched out pointy rectangle, whatever. It's a trapezoid. You make a general trapezoid, and you're gonna go towards the tail of your eyebrow. And again, I'm not really doing any harsh lines, so it's a very fuzzy trapezoid. Also, when you get this carried away and detailed with your eye makeup, do each step on each eye. I don't do this a lot, so we're gonna do this for this. Because that way you make sure you do the same thing on both sides, because you'll probably do like 8 layers on one side and then go to the other and you're like, what did I do? Alright, so we got our light green. We're gonna do our dark green now, and I'm gonna do this on the outside and then blend it in. Oh, and also, okay, so this is probably particular for my eye shape. So, kind of like a cut crease, but not really. So I'm gonna leave the majority of my actual eyelid this color. So we're gonna go on the outside. If I close my eyes, I'm gonna go in like it would be a cut crease, and out and blend it into there. You'll see. Alright, now we're going to go in with the black. This isn't always black enough, so sometimes I'll do my eyeliner and I'll draw in places with my eyeliner, then I'll go back over it with the black powder to blend the edges to get that real like shh. Alright, so this is good. We will add our eyeliner. I am using a NYX Vinyl Liquid Liner. So this explanation didn't really work, so here's a new one. I follow about the first half of my lower lash line, then disconnect to make a straight line. Add the wing. If your eye shape doesn't make a graceful transition when you're connecting the lower and upper lash lines, make your wing shorter. It'll look less wonky when you fill it in that way. Line your upper lid. Do it as close to your lashes as possible by aiming to paint the base of your lashes and not your actual lid. Alright, so my eyeliner's kind of dry and it was dragging and sticking in places and made a bunch of mistakes. I cleaned up a little bit of this one with some of my foundation, and some of that wing is like a lot thicker than the other side, but it's okay. We're gonna work with it. And the lashes will cover up most of that anyway, so we're good. Alright, so now I'm gonna go back with my black eyeshadow, and we're just gonna go shh around the tail, or the wing. See, look at that. Bam. And now the edge of my eyeliner just blends into my eyeshadow. Now we're gonna add some glitter. So I'm using a green machine, also a neon glitter, by the way. So I have the lit base. And I'm gonna like wisp some of it up here. I'm gonna add some Goober Grape in this little part by my eyeliner, and Lemon Tart. Alright, lip time! I'm gonna line my lips with some OCC lip liner. Probably overrated, but I like it. Alright, Alright, it's a good place to start. Okay, my lips are a little on the crazy side today, but it's good. It's good. Now we're going to take our black pencil and we're going to color in some of the edges and then use the angle brush to feather it in and ombre it. So just like that. And then take your angle brush, brush it in. Alright, we are done with makeup. I'm gonna go put my lashes on in the bathroom and I'll be right back. Lashes are done, a couple minor touch-ups under the eyes, and time to get dressed. And this is the finished look. Like my wig? Guess what? There's a tutorial for that too. Go watch it. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you learned something today. I hope you go enjoy the rest that the Topengaverse has to offer. I'll see you next time. Bye. Check out my other series and performances by clicking on the end screens or in the description below. Follow me on Instagram for more dragon crafts, at Miss Momma Denium. Be sure to like and subscribe. See you next time.